Hi, welcome back to my channel on narcissistic abuse. I'm your host, Katherine Kleiss, and today I want to talk about the beginning phases of the narcissistic relationship, the idealization phase, which will include us talking a little bit about the narcissist mask and love bombing. So the idealization phase is the beginning phase in the relationship where you're going to see them present a different person to you entirely, and they will incorporate a lot of love bombing in this idealization phase. So the point of this phase is to get you hooked, right? Like this is the honeymoon phase. This is where they're courting you and everything is great, okay? They are getting you to fall in love with them, and really making an attempt in that emotional attachment and that connection. Because once they have you to a place of emotionally connected, then they can start grooming you for the devaluation phase and the abuse in the rest of the relationship. So what's the mask? The narcissist mask is the person that the narcissist is pretending to be. The mask is what they are wearing in the beginning of the relationship and what they wear in public, because you'll notice that they're often more mean behind closed doors or in the car or in sleight of hands or subtleties, but not overtly in public as they are behind closed doors. So the mask is a representation of everything that they'd like to be perceived as. So they want you to perceive them as this kind, charismatic, loving, thoughtful, this great person. That's what they're showing the world. That's not who they are. So while they're wearing the mask, they're going to likely love bomb you. So love bombing is an intentional amount of admiration, love, attention, gift giving, right? They are just showering you with love, saying things like, I've never felt this way about anyone before, or I think you're my soulmate. They might also use love bombing when they're trying to get a favor from you, but certainly in the beginning of the relationship, while they have their mask on, they want to convince you that they are somebody else. You'll also notice with the mask that they wear different ones for different events. They might have their perfectionist mask or their philanthropist mask or their helpful mask, right? So it's whatever they're trying to convince the people in the room that they are. It could be them trying to convince you that there's something in the beginning, or other people at this dinner setting or at this work event that there's somebody that they're not. Something to look out for love bombing is the fact that it's easily confused with a genuine connection. You might think that you're actually falling in love and attaching to somebody, and that's because this person deceived you in a manipulative way. They deceived what you thought was actual connection and falling in love. They played on that emotion to manipulate you into believing that there's somebody that they're not, into believing their mask, and that's not your fault. Love bombing sometimes can only be seen after the fact when you're reflecting back and really looking at the situation from a different lens. So love bombing could look like excessive gift giving, just showering you with gifts and luxuries and travel. It could look like over-the-top compliments. Okay, keep in mind this person just met you and they don't have the length of history to know enough about you to be giving you such deep compliments. Okay, so these compliments are like over the top about who you are, and like they know who you are. It could look like demanding a lot of your attention, kind of expecting you to give them all their time, which in turn is isolating you from your friends and family and maybe your priorities. Another red flag could be that constant contact. They want to remain in contact with you at all times. Another big red flag would be rushing things, okay? They could be pressuring you to move faster than maybe you're inclined to move or that you moved in the past, such as moving in, getting engaged, having babies, getting married, those kind of things. They could be putting a lot of pressure to rush through those. They could be disrespectful with boundaries. Pay attention to how they are with your boundaries and others. Notice if they start using controlling tactics when they don't get their way, or how they respond in general when they're not getting their way. If they start using things like gaslighting or blame shifting. Be conscious if they're not taking any responsibility for any of their actions and they just want to avoid accountability at all costs. Also keep in mind if they are using a tit for tat type of thing, like, well, so-and-so did it, so or they did this, everything's transactional or competitive. Tit for tat. Is it balanced? Is it even, right? So that just kind of shows that what they're doing isn't coming from a genuine place where they're not expecting anything in return. It's very clear that they're expecting something in return. So just to summarize, we talked a little bit about the idealization phase, which is the beginning part of the relationship where everything is really, really great. Okay, you're being hit with passion. This is your soulmate. You've never been talked to this way. You've never been spoiled this way, treated this way, right? All of the love bombing, the excessive amounts of gifts and attention and flattery and compliments, right? It's just too much. It's suffocating. We're in love, and no one can tell me any different. So that is the idealization phase of the narcissistic relationship. And something that keeps us really stuck in these relationships is those memories. But we know that they're a good person. I have memories of the good times, So I think that the point of this video is really just to emphasize that that's true for all abusive relationships. We do a really good job about looking at other people's relationships and not understanding why someone would settle or why they would tolerate such disrespect. But it's important to understand that that disrespect is laced with compliments and promises. It is laced with gift giving and attention. So we all go through the idealization phase, but does yours stay? Is your partner respectful of your being? Yourself, your mind, your soul, your hobbies, your passions, your loves, your dreams? Like, do they respect you for who you are? Or is there devaluation stages in your relationship? Because if there are, you may be in a toxic relationship. If this video has been helpful to you at all, please like, share, comment, come back for more. There's a lot to talk about in this type of relationship dynamic. I hope you all have a good day and stay safe.